Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And what a watch! A timepiece I've admired from afar for years even, and never encountered firsthand, or I should say first wrist. This is the 2007 300-piece limited edition Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Grand Tourbillon, a dual-time Tourbillon automatic created as the commemorative watch for the opening in 2007 of the Jaeger-LeCoultre Heritage Gallery, effectively the factory museum. And if you buy this watch, you'll get a steamer trunk-sized boxed set that includes a piece of the original wall of Antoine Lecoultre's workshop, which was knocked down to open a space for the entrance to the Heritage Gallery. So if you get the rock set in lucite with this watch, that's where it came from. 300 pieces in platinum, and it's 43 millimeters, so you're getting plenty of precious metal. On my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, you can see that you probably wouldn't want to wear this watch on a wrist any smaller than the one I've got. So consider 16 centimeters circumference to be the lowest wrist size circumferentially that will work with this watch. It's big, but it's not thick. It's only 13.1 millimeters thick, which shocked me. So it will fit underneath the cuff. Lug to lug, it is large, 51.6 millimeters, and you can see it's the master case from the 2000. And this profile was used in everything from complications to sports watches. So if the lugs appear to be a little heavy, deep, and brutal, it's because it shared the case form with a lot of the master compressors. But that just gives you more platinum, which means this thing wears a treat on the wrist. You really feel the value of this watch. Jump into the strap. You can see JLC did not skimp. It is thickly made, bolstered. There's a lot of material here. Large rectangular scale alligator leather. It has a very narrow sheer side. It's not folded, with a monotone stitch, and it's thickly bolstered. On the underside, calfskin, and you will appreciate the fact that this is a brand new JLC strap, fresh from Camille Fournet in Paris. The watch does feature a white gold deployant clasp, because white gold being the hardest of the golds, JLC wanted to use something that was a little bit sturdier structurally than platinum. I still miss the single fold platinum clasp, but there's no doubt the clasp you're getting is ergonomically better than the single fold, less likely to pinch your wrist, and you can see it has that wonderful curve on the underside to trace the arc of your wrist. The double fold is just more comfortable, I'll give it that. You can also appreciate the fact that the case band is strong and simple. It is sheer, it is tall, it is deep, and the only real nuance is created by the junction of the bezel and the case band, the case back and the case band, and there's a small transitional bevel from the hood of the lug down to the side. You can see that to good advantage here, and probably to even better advantage from this angle. The crown is simple, JL, knurled, sharp, and easy to turn, a pleasure in the hand. The dial of the watch is incredibly luxurious, and let's talk a little bit about it because there's a surprising amount going on here. Outboard, you can see there's a flange with a polished inboard metal chaptering, so that gives the dial wonderful depth. That ray hot slopes down to the dial base, which is a galvanized black, and if you look at it from the right angles, you'll see there's a very slight sunburst grain. I'm going to bring in my polishing cloth to relieve this watch of my oils, and you can see that the Rayhot itself is a date. It's a radial date, and there is a gap between the 15th and the 16th, and the idea is that the watch will never block the tourbillon. So in the course of jumping overnight, you will see that the date actually makes an adjustment in the course of a single night so that it never obscures the tourbillon carriage, making a huge jump across the dial so that you're always able to appreciate that which Jaeger-LeCoultre hath wrought. But there's more going on here. You noticed I set that hour hand independently. I can set that hour hand independently after, for example, setting my second time zone up at 12 o'clock. So let's say I want to set my second time zone for 7 a.m. and then I want to set my local time for 9 a.m. I can do that easily. I have two time zones, one in a 24-hour format, and if you want to get really close, you can even see that the 24-hour format on the dial features a sunray style guilloche that differs from lateral slats for the day and the night phase. This is a beautifully made dial. Also appreciate the bi-Arabic numerals 9 and 3 white gold diamond polished, faceted, dart style, white gold indices, white gold alpha hands. The dial is also loomed, so you can actually see this watch at night. It's also a prize winner, as this movement, the 978, won the 2009 Concours de Chronométrie, the first standardized mechanical watch timing test since the 1970s in Switzerland. Caliber 978 won. Finishing in second place was JLC's own Gyro Tourbillon 2, so this is a giant killer. Automatic winding, 4 Hz beat rate, 33 joules, 22 karat winding mass with ceramic rotor bearings, unidirectional action. It beats away at the 4 Hz, and all the actions on the dial side. 48-hour power reserve, 50 meters water resistant. You can see individually numbered, limited edition of 300 pieces. The rotor is nicely made, and you can see a very slight mirrored bevel on its edge. If you look closely, you can just barely see the mirrored bevels on the edges of the bridges of the movement, which are surprisingly narrow, but they are hand finished. Very easy to miss. This is not fat anglage. You will need a loop. Blued screws, linear Côte de Genève, excellent execution, a beautifully made watch, but all the action is on the front side, where you'll appreciate, let's get it back in focus, the beautiful black polished components of the tourbillon carriage and its bridge, along with the free-sprung balance itself. This is a wonderful mechanism and the best that Jaeger-LeCoultre can offer. If you got the wrist for it, this is as good as it gets. The tourbillon, in the dark.